Sarangi is a bout, short-necked string instrument from subcontinent, which is used in Pakistani classical music.
Hallo, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, khushamdi. Ji, ayanu, goedemorgen.
Bakhair agale, ni hao, chune shumme, washmale, ohio gonzaimas, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shuma chatore, ahlan wasalan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabia, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV1 and are watching World this morning. Alongside the very fantastic, the very full of energy, the very full of new ideas, Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, the day today is Thursday and the date is 25th.
Yeah, thank you so much for, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for mentioning the date as well. It's important. We'll get to that later on as well. But Shahzad, you know, where you mentioned that I'm full of ideas. Thank you so much for saying that, but I want to further on that note as well. Sure. When you love your work, when you're passionate about it and you're not doing it by force just for the sake of, you know, earning bread or just for the sake of having a job, it's so much fun. And I just feel like creativity flows out of you as well. And it's also contagious. I mean, if you observe, whenever we discuss, I mean, what changes to bring to our show as well, one of us starts and the other one gets on board as well. I feel like it's all about passion that we share. And our entire team does actually. I'm so happy to be a part of
this. Thank you very much, Shiza, for saying that as well, because this is the same thing which I had in my head as well. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, that, you know, after spending all of those days in self-isolation and quarantining myself for like 2 times, you know, eventually there was a day when I was at work finally and I was going back home. I was realizing that how much I love to be in the studios and talking to you, to all of you as well. And same is the case with Shiza Hashmi as well, and for all of our team members as well. But as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, there's this one understanding which I've had with me. And I think that my parents have actually played a very pivotal role, that they have made me understand the phenomena of work. And that is that, you know, if you are supposed to do something, if you are, and you have to do it, there's no other way, no other person will actually come up and join hands with you. So don't you think that it's better that you do it with all your heart? I think that's what I think. And that is the rule I have with me all the time, that if there's something which I have to do, I will do it with all my heart.
That's beautiful, actually. And I want to sort of relate to that with my daily life as well. So, you know, I was not a major cooking fan and everything, but then I had to because I got married, blah, blah, blah. Now I actually started enjoying it because then when I thought, you know, I have to do it, so why not actually think about it? Then I started taking out my favorite recipes and trying everything new, colorful stuff and fancy stuff as well. So now I'm fond of it. But coming back to where I was appreciating my team, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this moment to actually pray for 2 of my very important team members, one of our senior producers, Jamshed Saab, and another producer of ours, Waqas. Both of them have been affected by the COVID-19, of course, their entire families as well. This is a request to all of you. Please remember Waqas, Jamshed, and their entire families, along with us, of course, our entire team, in your prayers too, because while it seems normal, trust me, we are risking a lot to be here on screen every day in front of you, sharing our knowledge, sharing the information that we get. We love to do that, but you guys really have to realize it's a hard task, not just for us, but the entire team as well. So please do remember signing your prayers.
And not just that, ladies and gentlemen, just yesterday, one of our senior producers, Mr. Jamshed Sultan, actually lost one of his aunts as well due to COVID-19. So, you know, prayers goes out for all of those people who actually lost their loved one, you know, who were actually battling with COVID-19 as well. But please make sure that we do not give up on hope, because I think hope, ladies and gentlemen, is one of those pillars which keeps that, you know, which keeps everything running, which makes you feel motivated as well, that there's going to be another day, there's going to be another sunrise, and things will change. And I think that this positive mindset will actually help you, you know, feel as if, you know, everything is going to get better. And I think that's the kind of feeling everybody needs to be in. Absolutely. So prayers for everybody who's battling with COVID-19, for all of those people who unfortunately have lost their loved ones as well. And ladies and gentlemen, believe us that, you know, every day when we wake up, you know, this is the first thing that we think about, even me, Shiza, and everybody. So prayers for everybody out there as well. But now, I think before we speak about why we mentioned the date today as well, before I move on to that step, there's one small question which I need to ask Shiza, and that is that since you mentioned that, you know, you actually had to learn cooking and, you know, you're trying all the colorful things and whatnot. Now, what I need to know over here is that for somebody who actually starts to cook, you know, very recently as well, and making a lot of dishes which she thinks that her husband likes.
Yeah.
How many times are you waiting for your husband to actually say that, oh, you know, this is so nice? Or do you think that every woman wants to have that recognition, or is it important to say that, you know, oh, you made it very nice, or it's just fine?
So to begin with, I feel like each and every single person in the world deserves encouragement and appreciation, acknowledgement, Shahzad. And I'm not just saying it for myself. I used to say it for my mom, for all the aunties in Pakistan specifically even. But I mean, I'm not looking forward to him saying it's nice, but he's very considerate. And you've met him, right? He's mashallah very generous with his compliments as well. So, I mean, when I cook, he is obviously there to, I mean, sort of support me, help me with things, cut the veggies and everything, because it's not a one-man's job. So yeah, that's happening too. What about you? I mean, you do sort of agree with this, right? Everyone needs appreciation and acknowledgement.
Yeah, I do agree with it. But, you know, the only thing which I can't get my head around is that, you know, God forbid, if the dish is not very tasty, what are you going to say then? I think that's...
It did happen. I ruined rice, I mean, once or twice, but then we redid it, so yeah.
Yeah, but I think the point which I wanted to make over here was, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody really needs appreciation and acknowledgement as well, and every human being is hungry of that. Which is why, coming back to the date itself, ladies and gentlemen, today it's the 25th as well, and today is the World Seafarers Day as well. Ladies and gentlemen, just a few days ago, just 2 days ago, in fact, you know, it was the United Nations Public Service Day as well, where we mentioned about all of those people who are actually the frontline warriors and making sure that everything is going and running smoothly as well. I think we kind of forgot about the seafarers itself as well, which is why on the 25th today, we're actually observing this day as well, and all the member states are. Ladies and gentlemen, the hashtag this time is that the seafarers are the key workers. Why is something which Shiza will let you know.
All right, we'll get to that, of course, but it's very interesting, Shahzad. So when you talk about seafarers, the first thing that comes to your mind is maybe people, you know, belonging to the forces, or maybe people living in the submarine belong to, you know, this category of seafarers, but no, it's such a vast term. There's definitely a legal or official definition to it, but generally speaking, everyone whose job is associated with the ocean/sea, they are seafarers, even marine biologists, Shahzad. Yeah. Even, you know, people working in the Navy, people working on cargo ships, even, I don't want to say pirates, but they are on the sea. I mean, they are the illegal ones, of course. Yeah. So everyone, basically, Coast Guard and fishermen, of course.
Exactly.
But there's a very sort of a strict bracket around that too. So today, on the 25th of June, like Shahzad mentioned, we are acknowledging their efforts. We are celebrating them all around the world too, because, I mean, if we agree or not, they do add a lot to the economy of each and every single country too. And considering the fact that more than 90% of the world trade has gone through sea, Shahzad, you know, shipment and whatnot. So that's really interesting, and to observe a day for that too. Just one interesting fact to add to the history of that. Do you know the first ever boat made and then driven through the water was in 3200 BCE?
Yeah.
And that too by Pharaoh Egyptian, who supposedly, or as, I mean, we assume that he also made the pyramids, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's particularly fine, ladies and gentlemen. This is an overrush of the information as well. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a message from the International Maritime Organization on this day as well, which I believe needs to be shared with everybody as well. Can we please play the video?
Let's do it.
Seafarers are at the heart of everything IMO does. Every year, we celebrate seafarers with the Day of the Seafarer campaign. Even in good times, seafarers are of the global economy. More than 80% physically and mentally demanding, lonely and remote. But this year, we are in the unprecedented situation of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Ships are continuing to trade, and most ports are open to transport vital supplies. But this global pandemic has plunged many seafarers into desperate situations. I have been amazed and impressed with the dedication, professionalism, and the resilience of seafarers as they have faced inability to conduct the crew changes or to be repatriated, lack of access to medical care, personal protective equipment, and denial of shore leave. All as a result of well-intended efforts to protect public health and safety, but with overly restricted consequences to shipping and seafarers. Despite all these challenges, seafarers have stayed on the job 24/7. IMO has worked with the member state, trade union, seafarers welfare organizations, shipping industry, and other UN agencies to find the solutions to these problems. I have been urging all IMO member governments to recognize seafarers as key workers. Seafarers' work is unique and essential. Seafarers are on the front line in this global fight. They deserve our appreciation and also need a quick and decisive humanitarian action from governments, not just during this pandemic, but at all times. That's why our 2020 campaign theme is Seafarers are key workers. Follow, use, and share this hashtag across social media platforms to join this global call for proper recognition and action for seafarers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that was the message by the Secretary of IMO as well. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by a representative as well from the, he actually happens to be a senior fellow at the National Institute of Maritime Affairs as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Kanwar Javed. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm privileged to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Particularly on this important day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. Now, first of all, I have to mention over here, you are a senior research fellow, already mentioned, but it's very interesting to actually meet in person with someone who has actually dedicated his life in research specifically to this matter. So you are very apt to actually be asking this question. Let us know what is the legal definition of seafarers, who are the people who come under this bracket, and since when has Pakistan been celebrating this?
Yeah, thank you very much. In the beginning, you have in a very good way, you have based on the literature, you have defined the overall canvas where the seafarer can be defined or can be included right from seaman, everybody working at the sea is for the general understanding. But as per the IMO's legal definition, any person who is engaged with any job at the ship at sea, so that is the seafarer. It's basically the two categories. One is the masters or the officers, and the second is the ratings. There is general crew in that category. So two categories exist.
All right.
Exactly. But sir, you know, I think what we really need to talk about today is that obviously we need to recognize the kind of work they are doing. That's brilliant. But you know, in COVID-19 times, when we know that, you know, that the world is actually going through a very tough time, I know for sure that, you know, this might be a very difficult time for all the seafarers out there as well, because the supply and the demand, you know, everything's going to work the normal way as well. People do require all the things, and 80% of the trade is through the sea anyways. So how difficult and challenging do you think it can be for all of those seafarers who are out there in these times?
You know, all the time, we all know, and in the beginning you have well established also in the message of the Secretary of IMO, that their role is very significant, and they are very critical, important role playing all the way, because 90% of the trade is through the sea, and without them it's not possible.
Of course.
So in our daily life, they have a big chunk of contribution.
Of course, we do realize that they contribute so much.
But on the other hand, when we think about their life, normally we use the terminology sea blindness, that the majority of the people, they are unaware of what's happening at the sea.
Okay.
In terms of the trade, economy, or the movement, or whatsoever operation is going on, and who the people they are playing their or contributing their with toughest time at sea. You know, in the normal times, if I'm coming back to COVID-19
Yes.
after this, first to discuss that in the normal circumstances, how tough life is for a seafarer.
Let us know, please.
Because nowadays you can till 80s people, majority of the peoples when they were going to perform their Hajj and other practice, so they might have experienced or they might be in close touch, because this a particular people, those are aware of these kind of jobs in these 70s, 80s, and those were associated with these ships and others. After getting some training, they qualification, and then they get employed. And a number of people, limited community, they were able to have close contact with them while they had sea voyage. But nowadays, this almost travel trend has been changed,
Yeah.
and we use air traffic
More than
more
yes.
than. So the crew at the aircraft is passenger aircraft, you can say, or the cargo aircraft is more or less the same thing that the crew at the ship
Okay.
at sea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the people, but they are working at sea. But the difference is that in a flight time from Dubai to, if you want to go Rio de Janeiro, maybe in a direct flight 18 to 20 hours, and after that the duty completes
Yes.
Okay.
Over here.
over here. And if you are a passenger, you can imagine the jet lag.
Yeah.
What about the duty of a
A
crew?
seafarer.
A crew at
so
the
long.
aircraft. But on the other hand, if you talk about the seafarer, he has to spend months, weeks and months.
Exactly.
The shortest distance between Pakistan and Dubai, if you have, then maybe in number of days.
Yeah.
But the long journeys, they have months to spend.
Exactly.
And they all the way they remain on sea. They have to face a number of challenges vis-a-vis the food problem. If we talk about the Muslim community of the seafarers, they are employed on international or the foreign carriers, they have problems of food and their habits and others. And then you might have heard a number of cases, because you are associated with the media, there's a number of piracy issues and others. So their life is in danger all the way.
Exactly.
First thing is they face safety issue, they face family sickness, then there's a
Health
threat to
issues,
their life,
not
health
to
issues.
forget.
Exactly.
And nowadays in the corona, due to corona, COVID, there's so many cases they are stuck outside Pakistan, even or the other countries, they might be having more or less similar cases. In what I know about the Pakistani cases is about 2 ships crew, it's a bulk carriers crew, because we have 11 ships, PNSC ships,
Yeah.
Pakistan flag carrier. Among them, what about if we talk about the tankers? Then this crew, they have short, they have to come, they have to take a trip to Middle East.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, for the bulk carrier, they have to move around, they have to roam around the world.
Exactly, so that's right, and you're very right when you've actually highlighted the kind of role the seafarers play as well, and I think that today is the day that we actually recognize their work, and it's brilliant. But the hashtag today is that seafarers are the key workers. How would you want to subject to that? Key workers, obviously we do understand that even in these times as well, that if the supply is coming in, obviously there are a lot of people who are working on the ships too as well, and since I have a lot of friends who are actually in Pakistan Navy as well, so the first thing they used to complain about the sea was seasickness itself, and being away from families for more than 6 months as well, or probably a year's time as well, and I know that it gets difficult. So how do you think that we need to pay them rich tribute, and how do we say that that they are the key workers? Please let our viewers understand.
Of course, they deserve a big tribute today. Not only today, because this
Almost every day.
every year, and even every day we have to recognize their role. And wherever earlier their community was restricted to bigger cities, but nowadays what I was having look on the data, they are representing all around the Pakistan. Though their number is less, but they are representing all over the Pakistan.
Exactly.
So we have representation from all over
Exactly.
Pakistan, and we must, if in or around our community we know a seafarer is there, or the person associated with this kind of job, So we should understand that if he is away from home, so we should take care as a neighbor or being Muslim, their family behind, and even this is also the responsibility of the government. If anything there is an unfortunate event happens with them, so government should take care of their
Exactly.
their
And we
family.
should always be there to support all of them as
Yeah.
well. Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal Javed Sahab, for being with us. It was lovely to have you over here on the show as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a senior research fellow from National Institute of Maritime Affairs as well. Today happens to be the Seafarer Day as well. Please make sure that if you have anybody from the seafarer fraternity or the family, look after them as well, because they will be gone for a longer period of time, and only because so that all the supply chain can work
Absolutely.
in peace as well. So please make sure that we recognize all of those people who are actually over there, out there, and making sure that they're going to do their job to the fullest as well. But right now, what are we going to do?
We're going to head out to a very short break and we will be back before you even know it. So stay tuned. Good morning.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, good morning. My name is Hassan. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? I couldn't hear your voice. Hello.
फोन
Hello.
पे हसन आई आवाज?
जी सर, अब आ रही है
आप आ गई
आ गई
अच्छे लग रहे हो यार, ये ब्लू शर्ट तो बहुत अच्छी लग रही है माशाल्लाह।
सर, वो आपने क्या था डार्क कलर, तो सर आपकी सजेशन थी पहले।
सरगोदे का क्या हाल है?
सर सरगोदा फिट है, आज तो मौसम भी बहुत प्यारा है सर।
माशाल्लाह सर, चलो जबरदस्त हो गया। चलो जी, आओ जी, रेडी करो जी फिर।
To appreciate its large size, the four minarets of the Badshai Mosque are 13.9 feet, 4.2 meters taller than those of the Taj Mahal, and the main platform of the Taj Mahal can fit inside the 278,784 square feet courtyard of the Badshai Mosque, which is the largest mosque courtyard in the world. Architectural wonders of Pakistan.
of
Welcome back to Well This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with the very energetic and the very informative Shahzad Khan and Shiza Hashmi. Well, today we were celebrating and actually acknowledging the efforts and all the time that the people working in the sea, or let's call seafarers, you know, sort of contribute towards their country as well. So being a part of the, you know, United Nations member states as well, Pakistan was celebrating that too. But right now in this segment, we have moved on and we're going to talk about something different, but something so exciting. Shahzad, you want to give it away?
Yes, exactly, ladies and gentlemen. Just imagine that, you know, that there are groups of people and then there are organizations and there are industries who actually make the country proud by doing what they do best as well. But not just that, I think that individuals can do so as well. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by such an individual who happens to be a photographer. He actually started photography just because of the fact that he wanted to do it. He started it from his cell phone. Whether he started with a professional camera is something else to ask. But you know, the best thing over here is that majority of the international magazines and media houses has actually published his work on the front pages or the covers as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very lucky and we are very proud of this gentleman from Sargodha. He's none other than Mr. Hassan Talal Tiwana. Hello, assalamu alaikum Hassan. Good morning. How are you?
Walaikum salam, sir. I'm good. What about you, sir?
Thank you so much for asking, Hassan, and thank you so much for actually being able to join us all the way from Sargodha too. We're so proud to actually have you. And to begin with, you were published in the National Geographic magazine as well. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. I was published.
MashaAllah, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so Hassan, let's get started. How did you actually, you know, when did you realize that you actually want to become a photographer, or is it still a part-time thing for you?
No. Yeah, it's a part-time thing, but it's been a passion for me. I was traveling when I was in teenage. I was traveling a lot with my friends and with my father to different areas of Punjab. And whenever I see beauty around me, I was fascinated with that. And so I want people to see that perspective of beauty, what I see. So I started taking photographs and uploading them on social media. People start praising my work, and so I kept on.
What does your family say about it? Because not just being on the magazine covers, you know, of international magazines, you've actually conquered the entire industry over here in Pakistan as well. Majority of the banks are actually taking your pictures for calendars as well. You're giving interviews everywhere else.
Even in India?
Yes, and you have even won numerous competitions as well, even one in the Governor House. So, you know, tell us a little about your journey, that once you realized कि मैं बहुत अच्छा photographer हूँ, you know, उसके बाद की जो journey, उसके बाद का जो सफर है कि उसको professional equipment, getting professional equipment and then focusing more on taking such kind of pictures, or probably do we have a genre in pictures of photography as well?
No, I'm doing all types of genre. Like I'm doing mountains, I'm doing landscapes, I'm doing village life, I'm doing wildlife. Whatever I see, I just go for it. And yeah, about my journey, I started in 2014 when I realized that my work is getting recognized at different levels, international.
So is it good? How do you feel when you realize that, you know, your work is getting recognized? You have been on every other news channel and TV channel over here in Pakistan as well. So how does it make you feel? What does your friends say about you? आपके दोस्त क्या कहते हैं इस बारे में कि यार अब तो तुम बहुत बड़े फोटोग्राफर बन गए, मिलते ही नहीं हो?
I think we have lost Hassan's voice, if I'm not wrong. Meanwhile, can we also play his work on screen? Can we share the pictures that he's taken as well?
Meanwhile, we get the audio back. Yes, let's do that. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to share Hassan Talal's pictures as well with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the most amazing pictures taken by Mr. Hassan Talal Tiwana from Sargodha. Wow. You know, so ladies and gentlemen, let me be very clear on this as well, because, you know, Hassan Talal's main motive is to actually share the beauty of Pakistan. You know, he's been to northern areas as well, and he wanted to share the culture of Punjab. So imagine that whatever he looks at, he takes phenomenal pictures from, I don't know what kind of a eye he's been blessed with as well.
It's
But just look
brilliant,
at the pictures,
actually.
yes.
All of them are so catchy. And they tell a story. You know, Shahzad, it's really easy for anyone to pick up a camera and take a photo. But to have that kind of story behind a simplest photo is actually a true
Yeah,
talent.
just look at that. Yeah,
Stunning, man. It's stunning.
This is stunning. Wow.
I really actually want to ask him if he has studied photography or not, because his, you know, sense of symmetry and angles, everything is actually great.
Let's see if we can get the audio back as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, for somebody who actually started photography in 2014 and came out with such amazing pictures that almost every magazine wants to have his picture on the cover, I think that that's a phenomenal and a wonderful thing as well. And it's going to be a very apt question whether you've studied a little about it or not, because eventually when you start doing something and you're good at it, you do try to, you know, develop the skill like professionally as well.
So I think it's now time to ask Hassan about it.
All right,
Hassan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So let us know, did you study photography or was it just a passion that you developed over time?
No, I didn't learn anything from any institute or any person. I'm just a self-taught photographer, and I didn't learn anything from anyone.
No, but when we say that we are self-taught, that does definitely mean that you've actually been watching YouTube tutorials or anything else, so there were people to guide you. Who have you taken your inspiration from? Because there are many other photographers out there as well.
And don't say Brandon, huh?
Yeah, I love the work of Steve McCurry. I love his work is truly inspiration for me and every upcoming photographer in this field.
That's really nice. And you know, Hassan, actually you are inspiration for a lot of upcoming photographers here in Pakistan as well, because we know how talented Pakistani youth is. And of course, they do a lot to actually make their name too. So do you have something to say to the youngsters who are now upcoming photographers? What should they focus on? What are the skills that they should develop?
I guess they should follow their dreams, follow their passion, and just go for it. It's nothing like
for all those people who want to be photographers.
Yeah. You cannot learn this thing. I guess it's your eye which beholds the beauty, I guess.
Yes, you
wow,
know, that's wonderfully said as well. It's the eye of the beholder as well, ladies and gentlemen. But not just that. You know, Hassan, there's one more problem that, you know, if there's a family member who's an amazing photographer, the entire family wants him or her to take their pictures as well. May it be a wedding, may it be a birthday. Yaar, Hassan, apna camera le aana, tasveerein kheech dena. How do you feel about it now that you are an internationally recognized and awarded photographer from Pakistan and you've done some wonderful projects as well? Well, how does it make you feel? You know, one day if your cousin or Phuppi ki beti calls you, Hassan, yaar camera le aana, mangni hai meri. So what would you say to them?
I take pictures on events of my family. They all ask me to take pictures, and I go for it. You know, but we have to do it in Desi families. We have to do that.
And what about your friends? What do you say to them?
When they ask you, Hassan, DP bana do, please.
यार मेरा photo shoot कर दो, ये display picture एक नहीं लेनी है या Facebook.
बना देता हूँ.
What do you do?
बना देता हूँ.
So you do take those pictures?
Yeah, I take the pictures of my friends.
Okay, Hassan, so now actually I have a question. So we were reviewing all your amazing photos on the screen as well, sharing with our viewers. And we were actually stunned at how beautifully captured all of them were, and they were from sort of different genres as well. So my question is, which one or which genre specifically do you enjoy shooting the most? We absolutely loved Where the Horse Was in the Smoke as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love to capture especially the mountains, the natural beauty, the lakes. And after that, village life, especially the farmers going on work and the people on cycle and different people working in fields. But my favorite part will be mountains, I guess.
All right.
Okay, nice.
It's brilliant. But, you know, Hassan, you know, I've seen a lot of my friends happens to be photographers as well. And, you know, it gets very hard, you know, and I'm saying it because of the fact that, you know, they might have to get up at like 4 in the morning to get the sunrise, or probably, you know, to get the sunsets, or, you know, for time lapses, they just have to be there as well. So do you think that being a photographer has actually had an impact on your life or the kind of routine you had?
Yeah. I sleep very early because of that routine. I have to wake up in sunrises, and it impacted me a lot. I sleep at 9 to 10 p.m. It's my daily routine now.
Wow. which is wonderful as well. And you know, for all of those people, you know, as Shiza said, that you know, there are a lot of people who want to be photographers these days, and there was this complete trend where everybody wanted to buy a DSLR, whether they can operate it or not. But which camera and lens would you recommend for people or beginners that, you know, if you want to start photography, you know, start with this camera or this lens and it will do it all?
I guess they should go for Nikon D7500 for beginners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and which
it
lens?
has lens with, it has a lens come with the box is 18-140, and I guess it's perfect for all kind of photography.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you very much for your piece of advice. But since you are an internationally recognized photographer, what will be your message to your nation, all those Pakistanis who are out there, even in these days?
In these days, the only message would be stay home and stay safe, please, for yourself and for your families and for sake of your country, please.
Well, that's good that you're actually saying and you're actually telling people to stay home, but you being a photographer have been out, you know, for all the pictures we have seen, you know, either they're from villages, either they're from mountains or elsewhere.
COVID-19, they are before the COVID-19, I'm staying home.
You're staying home? Okay, that's wonderful,
right.
and we definitely want some good work, some good pieces of work in near future as well. We are saying goodbye to you, but we are not literally saying goodbye to you because we want to share a video.
Thank you, sir. It's been my honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hassan, for being with us. But let me complete it. We are once you're actually off air, we will actually be playing a video which is made by you as well, and we want people to see that not just photography, ladies and gentlemen, his cinematography is very wonderful as well. So thank you very much, Hassan, for being with us, and thank you very much for making us proud.
Thank you.
So can we take a look at the video, ladies and gentlemen? Let's take a look. One talented guy he is. What do you have to say?
Before that, you know, Shahzad, when you were speaking to Hassan about how photographers have absolutely no control over, you know, capturing the sunset and everything because they're so passionate about it, I realized that because, so my husband, I hate the fact that I talk about him so much. So he's a video journalist / photographer.
Yeah.
And so, you know, E11 actually has a lot of brilliant thunderstorms and lightning too. So whenever that happens, I'm like, oh, close the curtain because I don't know, I'm really paranoid about the lightning.
Yeah.
And he just grabs his camera and he's on the terrace capturing the entire thing in time lapse and everything. I think they're really so passionate about it, and they really have that eye too. People like me, or I mean normal people, they really can't understand what they're up to.
But they might not be able to understand, ladies and gentlemen, but then at the same time, I think that the best part of it is that, you know, once you know that your husband is actually a video journalist as well and a photographer, your Instagram game is very strong as well, you know. Now I know. I was like, man, where is he getting all of these good pictures from? Now I know you need to actually have a husband or a wife, you know, who is a video journalist or a photographer, which is great. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a video made by Mr. Hassan Talal from Sargodha. Let's take a look and let's just be in awe. Let's do this.
नेजाबाजी एक ऐसा खेल जो कहने को तो सिर्फ खेल है, लेकिन हकीकत में शाहसवारों की जंगी महारत, जवामर्दी, बर्क रफ्तारी और बहादुरी की अलामत भी है। नेजाबाजी बर्रे सगीर के मारूफ सकाफती खेलों में मुमताज हैसियत रखता है। ये खेल अज़मना कदीम से ही बादशाहों और फातेहीन का महबूब मशगला रहा है। अर्ज़े पाक के जर्री जवान भी घुड़सवारी और नेजाबाजी में खसूसी दिलचस्पी लेते हैं। इस सिलसिले में घोड़ों को सुधाने से लेकर उनकी ग़ज़ाई ज़रूरियात तक और घोड़ों की देखभाल से लेकर घुड़सवारों की तरबियत तक खसूसी तवज्जो दी जाती है। एक नेजाबाज का हदफ कहने को तो लकड़ी का एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा होता है, लेकिन दरअसल इस टुकड़े को नेज़े की अन्नी पर उठाकर वो न सिर्फ अपनी जुर्रतमंदी का सबूत देता है, बल्कि उसका अंदाज और घोड़े की चाल तमाशाइयों के लहू को गरमाने का काम भी करती है।
ये अनाउंसर जो होता है वो नेज़ाबाजी की गेम का एक ऐसा हिस्सा है कि वो तकरीबन हाफ जजिंग भी करता है, हर सवार पे नज़र भी रखता है, हर अच्छे सवार को भी देखता है, हर कमज़ोर सवार को भी देखता है, हर घोड़े पे भी निगाह होती है।
दस्तार जो मुआशरे में अज़मत और रिफ़त का इस्तिआरा है। नेज़ाबाजी के इस खेल में दस्तार या पगड़ी शान व शौकत की दलील ही नहीं, बल्कि नेज़ाबाज की इनफरादियत का सबूत भी है। नेज़ाबाजी में शाहसवार की दस्तार और उसका लिबास उसकी शनाख्त होता है। हर शाहसवार के सर पर खेल में शिरकत से पहले पगड़ी बांधी जाती है। इसका भी एक अछूता अंदाज है।
All right, ladies and
Stunning.
gentlemen, yes, that was a wonderful piece of work by Hassan Talal from Sargodha as well, ladies and gentlemen. He, on the other hand, happens to be an internationally recognized photographer as well, but he's making documentaries. So he's not just making Pakistan proud, he at the same time is actually preserving the culture of Pakistan and Punjab, to be more specific. Hassan Talal, you're doing a wonderful job, and we want a lot of Hassan Talals in Pakistan as well.
Absolutely, and it's just absolutely stunning. And Shahzad, I think we here at the State Channel have the responsibility to promote work like Hassan's, where he's actually, you know, letting people know, like you said, about the culture. Have you ever done this?
Yes, I've been a keen rider all my life as well, and I've always been doing tent pegging. It gets a little difficult as well, but these days I'm not doing it, and it's because of the fact that I have some other issues. But other than that, it's a fabulous game. The adrenaline rush is on a very different level as well. And once you get that peg, you know, that's a very different feeling. But ladies and gentlemen, you know, in Pakistan, tent pegging is very common as well, in Punjab, in central Punjab as well, and everywhere else. You know, wherever there are riders, you know, there are tent peggers as well.
That's really interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, for all of those who are watching right now, if you have any talent, and if you are as actually talented and as recognized, even not like Hassan, please share your work with us, because we would love to share your work either on our show, or we would love to either have you on our show as well. Write to us on our Facebook page with the name of
World This Morning.
On Twitter.
World This Morning without G.
YouTube.
World This Morning.
And you can catch the repeat of the show at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.